We're good. Yeah. Sip straight. And thanks for popping in. You are now watching JUK Boy Sports Show. I am your host, King Ralph, the JUK Boy himself. Here for a solo dolo show. Hope everybody's doing good out there in TV land. But let's get into it like we always do. If you're looking for a no energy, get on iPhone, Android, Samsung, iPads, computers, all that good stuff. Go to DUBBYW.com. Use promo code JUKE for 20% off. And while you're here, wherever you're here from, hit that like, subscribe, comment, share button. All of those buttons all put together. Trying to get to 100 subscribers on Facebook for JUK Network, JUK Network. 100 followers on Facebook, 100 subscribers on YouTube with JUK Network. You can follow me at KYNGRALPH on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, add an underscore for extra Twitter. And the Aces won. I tried to call the three-peat last year. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. But we got it. We got it done. I'm pissed. I'm going to miss the parade. It's on Friday at, I believe, 5:30 or 5 o'clock. One of the two. But I'm missing the parade. I've been able to catch all the other parades, so I'm going to miss this one. So y'all enjoy it in my honor. Not finna hold you. I predicted it at the beginning of the year. But up until 6 weeks ago, I did not think that we were going to win another. Not another, but win this year. I definitely think we was going to shot this year. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Asia for finals MVP. So is she the GOAT is the question. So while I pull up numbers in my lyric voice, is she the GOAT? So just straight up off the dribble. See what I did there? Accolades. 4-time MVP. 5-time block champ. 5-time defense. 3-time champion. 2-time finals MVP. 2-time scoring champ. 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, including this year. 6-time All NBA and 7-time All Star. Is she the GOAT? And I think it's an emphatic, like, if she's not, by the time it's said and done, she will be the GOAT until the next big thing comes through. Because 4 MVPs and chips, 5-time block champ, 3 defensive players, 6 All NBAs, All Ws. Yeah. And you're a 2-time finals MVP. I think leading a dynasty in a way. 3 titles in 4 years. The Maya Moore, what she did for that Minnesota team. I think then we start to go through like Diana Taurasi, what she did for the Phoenix Mercury, Candace Parker, and every team that she was on. Those are your Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, although she was just, I feel like she was the GOAT, but she was just too, lack of a better term, she just was too old by the time she got to the league. By the time they created the W, she was already like 35. So what she was able to do at that age, being the best player on that team, I think that Cynthia Cooper was my GOAT until probably like about Candace Parker. And then Maya Moore came after that. And that run she was on for her to quit, I mean, not quit, but retire so early, I think that she was the one that was on the way to being that GOAT status. And we'll see what happens with Caitlin, Paige, and Juju. But right now, Asia, what she's able to do, the way that she's been able to build on her game, go left hand, right hand, take you off the dribble, post move, pick and pop. Now she hit threes. And being such an outspoken figure as well in this league, while the league is building, I think that she's the perfect person to lead the charge. And for me, it'd be hard pressed to like. I think that with this resume, she has a leg to stand on, just for saying that she's the GOAT right now. But with her only being 30 or 29, she's got a lot of basketball left. And we'll see what happens with that team. I think the Aces are a perfect culmination of, and I talked about this before, with Asia Wilson definitely being that Shaq piece. You needed someone to eventually step into that Kobe role, where over the last couple of years, it was kind of like it was Chelsea at one point, then it was Kelsey Plum the next moment, and then now Jackie Young is that Kobe piece next to Asia Wilson, where there was a few games they dropped 20, 25 together. They dropped 30 pieces together. And I think that having that type of balance from a perimeter standpoint, and now Asia being able to stretch the floor, they're just set up. As long as you build the right team around them, you're gonna have a winning formula for some time to come. And so NFL got some MVP front runners. Let's look up who folks is talking about. Off rip, I want to give some love to Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones. I think that what they've been able to do, where it's one of those conversations that you got to have where it's not always where you start, but how you finish. And Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, both went to organizations that needed a quarterback, has shown to not really have the Cleveland Browns more so, that they're just not able to develop quarterbacks. So they bring in Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has a good rookie season. They get to the playoffs, and then it just never got right after that. They just always felt like they were looking for the, hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Baker Mayfield had a good, and it just never got the ship right. Daniel Jones had some moments where you could see something there, but without Saquon, he just wasn't that guy out there. Now, you move him along, he comes over to the Indianapolis Colts, and he balling. Big man balling. You're thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in, gang. And Daniel Jones, man, that boy been balling. So I'm gonna pull up their numbers while I'm here. Off rip, we got Daniel Jones. We're gonna pick his numbers first. And I think the major thing to think about when we had this conversation too is the record. Right now, he has his team 5-1, 71.7 completion percentage, 8 touchdowns and three interceptions, all 1,500 yards. Now, when you're looking at about 6 games, that's a little less than 300 yards a game. So he's slinging the ball, not turning it over. And the thing about Daniel Jones that was always low-key sneaky is his ability to run the ball. Now, he's not going to go off for them 100-yard games, but he can go off for a 30-yard play off the rip. So 7 attempts, 26, has one game with 4 attempts for 27. And his first start, he got 5 attempts for 20 yards, and then he has 4 touchdowns on the ground to add to that. And I feel like he has to be put in this conversation. Baker Mayfield and what they're doing, I think they have the best record in football right now, and that's with a slew of injuries. No Mike Evans, Chris Godwin got hurt again after coming back from injury. And so, thank you all for popping in. I appreciate you. All right, so let's look up the standings. Because if I really had it my way, like I think what Dak is doing with the Cowboys needs some love. I know, man. Danny Dimes. At least he's earning the nickname now. It's working now. But Danny Dimes, hey, what's good? Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate y'all. But I think what Dak is doing with the Cowboys right now, as much as I hate the Cowboys, I hate giving them any kind of praise. But with a 2-3 record, it's hard to really sit there and act as if you're that Dak should be in an MVP conversation when his team is losing like that. So, as much as I want to give him some love, what are we looking at? 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,600 yards for 71.6 completion percentage. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but it's just when your defense is that bad, you're not going to win games. And then this is just a culmination of you trade Micah Parsons instead of giving him his bread. Whatever reason why. The whole stop the run bullshit cap. But it is what it is because the Packers defense got better. And have you seen Micah? That boy been in the run. He been in the pass. That type of athleticism, versatility, you just don't give that up for Kenny Clark and some draft picks. Don't quite understand it, but hey, Dak out there balling, slinging the rock, not really turning the ball over. 6 games, 3 interceptions, and over 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but in the end, I think the front runner, if we're going to go with the quarterback is the most important position, then you got to go Baker Mayfield. Which, if you have Baker Mayfield leading the pack to be the MVP front runner, calling it cap. Calling it cap. Because over 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. Which I don't think people enough, when we start to have these conversations about football specifically, is in any sport, honestly, because I don't think enough that this conversation gets brought up. Protect the rock. Like, the thing about Steph that irritates the hell out of me, he's cleaned it up a lot lately, which I think is why he's been able to keep the Warriors in contention when he's on the floor, is because early in his career he was real loosey-goosey with the rock, and not turning the ball over is a very vital part of success. Those teams, regardless of what sport, now we're talking about Baker Mayfield being the front runner with only 1 interception in 6 games, and his team is 5-1. I think that any great team doesn't shoot themselves in the foot and turn the ball over. Thanks for popping in, guys. I appreciate y'all for popping in. What's good with you? What's good with you? So, Chris Godwin been out. Mike Evans been out. Now, Emeka Egbuka is about to go out too, and he been balling as a rookie. So, we'll see if they're able to keep it up. But, I mean, he been balling this year. So, I'm going to give him his props while he's here. Maybe he heard me say he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. I immediately regretted it the next week. And so the NBA GMs, it's that time of year. What's good? Thanks for popping in. They did their NBA, they released their GM survey. And so these are a couple of the topics. OKC has been projected to win. Cleveland is going to win the East, so that is who they'll play in the NBA Finals. Jokic will win an MVP again. And if you could start your franchise with anybody, they selected Wemby. And Amin Thompson for breakout season. And honestly, I don't really disagree with many of these. I think that depending on the team, Cleveland winning the East, Cleveland just always going to be Donovan Mitchell specifically. His ass is always going to be on this list of. It's kind of like Lamar Jackson, like in football, where in the off season, or in the regular season, go crazy. But it really don't really matter to me. What you do in these playoffs is really what matters to me. So with Donovan Mitchell, yeah, that's cool and all. You getting 70 points in a regular season game, but what do you do in the playoffs? So sucks for them Pacers because if Tyrese Halliburton is not hurt, they're definitely in that conversation. Jason Tatum's out, so what do the Celtics do? So I would probably go New York, Orlando as far as my teams getting out the East. But Cleveland got to show me. They got the squad to do it, but yeah, what are they really doing, y'all? Jokic winning an MVP. Every year you can just pencil him in. Like, I feel like at this point it's time for Luka to really, like, what is he going to do with this Lakers team? And he has the perfect opportunity to do so, winning an MVP. So I probably would lean Luka. And if OKC can stay dominant, I could see Shea or SGA, whatever you want to call it, whichever one is, whatever your fancy. But Jalen Williams is getting so good that it's starting to take a little bit of that oomph away from him. It's not just SGA and a bunch of role players. Now they have an actual hierarchy. So I do think that Jalen Williams will take some MVP votes away. I think the one I'm most looking forward to is Thompson with the Rockets, where you got KD, you got Şengün, Thompson, and a slew of talent, like just young, vibrant talent with good coaching. That team's finna be dangerous. And I think that now with Fred VanVleet being hurt, it opens things up and for more opportunities for him to where they're going to have to lean on him a little bit more than they would have normally had to with Fred being such a vet. But breakout season, and then Wemby is just a damn cheat code. Like, the thing that I hate about, like I love 2K, but I hate it at the time. Because a player like Wemby, you and like Anthony Davis, Giannis, you can never create players like them on 2K. And that shit irritates me. Like, why are they, like, how did you get this build for Giannis and Davis and up like Wemby? But why can't I create someone that can play that? Because they never have the speed if they have the length. Pause. It's just kind of wild. They never have the speed, but then they be lanky as hell. You'll be able to shoot with them, but you just can't move with them. It just be irritating. Where like Wemby got every goddamn thing. He can block shots. My man can dunk standing up. Like, he didn't even jump. Just put his arms in the air and dunk the ball. And hit threes. He just needed to work on his post a little bit more. Like, it's about balance. I know just because you can shoot threes doesn't mean you should shoot that many threes. You know what I mean? But the skill set's there. It's motherfucker's goddamn cheat code. I did hear about how they did that. I don't pay myself yet just because I'm waiting to get this PS5. I get that grab 2K, but I have heard that they people going for that build, they nerf the fuck out of it. I hate when they do that. Like when to get off topic slightly, when something is like unbeatable, i.e. the tush push, I don't want y'all to get rid of it. Like just bring it down a little bit. Don't make it to where it's like it goes from it was OP to just like it's useless now. Like that shit gets on my nerves. Next thing, Cam Newton gets his jersey retired with the Auburn Tigers. And so I'm like, Cam Newton, I'm actually really surprised that they gave him this one. Not because I didn't think he did an impact. His impact was in one season is phenomenal. If you really truly go through it, I think the one player that he had two. That was dogs, or at least NFL worthy. And Fairley, and I want to say it was Die. I think it's running back. Whatever his start running back's name was. Those was the only two. And then after that, it was a bunch of. I don't think that any of them are still in the league or made it to the league after that. And he took that team to a national championship team. Won a Heisman, beat Bama, had a crazy comeback, and his impact in one season as a starter in college football at that level is crazy. So I do think that I agree with him getting his jersey retired. I just was really surprised that it happened, to be honest with you. All right, and then of the 1 and 5 teams, who do I most believe in? And I kind of hinted at it already, but between the teams, we got the Titans, who just fired their coach. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson has missed the last 2 weeks. The Browns still have Shador as a backup and Dylan Gabriel going into his third start. And then the Saints didn't really trade anybody, ain't fired nobody, no real changes. Who do you most believe in? And I think the only real logical answer for me is I could see the Tennessee Titans and them firing their coach could put a little spark behind them. I think in the end, when you have a Lamar Jackson on your team, and you're losing some games when he was there, but you lose 2 games with him nursing an injury. Bring him back into the fold. You're 1 and 5. I had the divisions up here, but let's see if I can find AFC North. Even with the 1 and 5 record, they're still not last by themselves. So the Steelers are 4 and 1. Eagles are 2 and 4. Ravens are 1 and 5. Browns are 1 and 5. With games against those teams, I think that you have an opportunity to be able to come back. One, it's just a lot of football. That's one thing I always tell people is like there's just so much ball that you can't get too high or too low early in the season. So Bears play the Ravens in 2 weeks. So I believe they get a bye week. And then they get the Bears in 2 weeks, Dolphins after that, Vikings, which I think that you can win 2 out of those 3. So that puts you at 3 and 6. Then you got Jets, Browns, Bengals, Steelers. That could easily be a 4-game winning streak. Then you got the Bengals again, which could be a 5-game winning streak. And then Patriots, Packers, Steelers to finish out the season. So I think that they have enough to where the schedule is in their favor. Now, you never know what happens when you play someone in your division. Anything can happen. But I think that the Ravens with Lamar Jackson and them boys, now it's just whether or not can they get the defense together. Can Zach Orr get the defense together? Because I'm not for no brother losing their job, but he's not a good defensive coordinator. All right, going into the 2 minute drill. Let's see what we got. Tua need to shut his ass up. That's my whole thing. I don't know if it's because he got this bread, so he just think he need to talk. But just because you can talk doesn't mean you should talk. I'm tired of seeing him talking up at these press conferences after he done thrown 3 picks, talking about people not playing, showing up to the meeting. First off, putting people on blast. Now, I'm a store manager. In any form of leadership, putting someone on blast in front of whatever your large group of people is, never a good idea. Just me personally. Putting people on blast, talking about people not playing in meetings. Sir, you was at the meeting, you still threw them 3 picks. What's your excuse? Let's talk about that first before we start talking about people missing players only meetings. Like, Tua, just shut your ass up, bro. Play football, bro. Playing like garbage. And they want to criticize folks. All right. I think that I was thinking about this the other day. It was a high thought, but I was like, I feel like I'm onto something. I feel like when we start having these, because there's a very much a big gap between a distinct gap between Allen Iverson, where with most people list, my list included, it's Mike, Kobe, AI. Then there's D Wade, and then whoever else you have at that point. I think that there is a little bit of a disrespect going on to Allen Iverson. I get what Dwayne Wade and what he's able to do. Now, if I'm just comparing the player on the court, yes, I'm gonna go Dwayne Wade. But when you hear like other players talk about like Mike or Kobe, like Allen Iverson was on a whole nother level that I think that you had to be there to really truly get everything that like why he's such an impact to our culture in the NBA. And to hear other players talk about like the stuff you see in the movies, like Allen Iverson was really that, where it's like you got around other superstars and they just weren't that. Like he was a rock star. And I think that this just watching clips or highlights or people talk about it. Hey, I rock with Dwayne Wade, man. Like Chicago all the way. I do think that he gets slightly slept on because he played with Shaq and LeBron when he won his rings. But I think Dwayne Wade was a phenomenal basketball player with a lot of heart and athleticism. Oh, what's good, Brian? Talked to you in forever. Hey, what's good, bro? Thanks for popping in, Brody. But Dwayne Wade, man, I think that is now if I'm going between the two of them, yes, 100%. I'm gonna go with Dwayne Wade on the basketball court. But I just think that what Allen Iverson meant to our culture and the NBA itself, I think just can't be. You can't necessarily get that feel and vibe just through watching YouTube videos. I think you just like had to be there and know everything that it came with. Big facts. Big facts. Carried Shaq, bro. Carried Shaq. They was finna get mopped off that court. Next one, what do I got? I got 2 more to get through. And man, my Raiders, man, bro, if we would have lost to the Titans this weekend, boy, I might have jumped ship. I ain't finna hold y'all. I might have jumped ship. You probably would have never saw. I probably would have been doing a video burning all my Raiders gear. But we won. Aston Genty been getting his touches. He back to the Michael Myers stance, standing straight up. And over the last couple games, he been getting his touches, man. 23, 23 carries this week, 14 last week with 7 targets, 21 carries, 17 carries. And I think that the thing about it is being able to use him in the pass game is being very, very much underrated. And I don't think that he gets enough credit for how good of a pass catcher that he can be and will be. Now, I'm not calling him Bijan Robinson. We can go out there and Christian McCaffrey. They can go out there and line up in the slot, but use him in the pass game. Because Geno Smith, boy, if I see him throw one more pick, that like you ever just want to just throw your TV, like throw a chair at your TV, something at the TV, like bro, what are you doing? Why like put it's you playing like trash when you want Kenny Pickett to replace him. And that's the thing for me that I hate, like for my Raiders fans, me and these fans out here is we just gotta deal with Geno for at least one more year. I don't know why they just didn't draft Shador. This that shit hurt. But last one, I've been thinking about this. People have been complaining about this for a while now. But I'm sitting there, I'm watching highlights, and I'm seeing Victor Oladipo playing against the Spurs. I think it might have been the Clip. No, it was the Spurs. I thought he was in a Clippers jersey. Whole time he played overseas in China or something like that. And then Frank Kaminsky, Northside, Chi-Town boy. My man, he balling against the Spurs too, and I'm just like, all right. At some point, we gotta have a conversation here. I get it that there's a lot of one and dones coming and young talent, and you can pay them this and figure it out for them to become real pros. But I think that some of the product that we're getting on the court is a factor in an effect that there are no vets in the league. When you go through and we watch all these podcasts, we see that people had vets that taught them certain things, showed them the ropes, the little nuanced things that you wouldn't know unless you experienced it. And I think that is bad for the league to not have those vets or have those vets playing in China or Korea, Puerto Rico, Mexico, or some shit. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me personally. Maybe it's my bias because there's players like DeMarcus Cousins, Victor Oladipo, Kenny Lofton Jr., not a veteran, but still can't get a chance in the league. Like, I just want to see niggas be able to hoop, give them opportunity to hoop. Like, I feel like DeMarcus Cousins, after a while, never really got an opportunity that he really deserved, that he still had. Like, I believe his last season, he still was a top 5 center. But for some reason, they just going to mush him out of there. And so, thank you all for watching. Thanks for popping in, guys. I appreciate y'all for the raid. I do got to get up out of here. Got to go check on my daughter. But wherever you're here from, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I appreciate the interactions as well. If you're on Facebook, or if you can go on Facebook, search JUK Network, JUK Network. Follow that page, subscribe at JUK Network on YouTube. Two Goobs podcast just dropped a new episode. About to drop my album review for me and my brother did for Earl Sweatshirt. We're about to work on. Got a couple other album reviews we're working on. And stay tuned for us. You can follow me at KYNGRALPH on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, @_for X on Twitter. And I got to get up out of here. Y'all be cool.